Hi, so the Eastbound series is finally over. 72 days on the road covering 14,000 kilometers across the length of the country. And now let's talk about something that nobody wants to know during the ride and everybody is curious about after. How much did it all cost? Let's break it down from fuel to food, different types of permits to bike surveys and everything in between. And also we'll discuss about some of the strategies that I follow to keep the expenses in check. So without further ado, let's dive in. Let's start with fuel costs, something that I had zero control over. So if you want to cut down your fuel expenses, you can probably try shipping your bike from wherever you're starting a ride from. Make sure that the motorcycle is safe. I rode all the way from Trivandrum to Kolkata and beyond. Something else that you can try is to get a motorcycle that is a little more fuel efficient. I was getting around 30 kilometers per liter mileage, and that's with a fully loaded motorcycle. And also I was not at all easy on the throttle. So I spent around 42,000 for fuel alone. So there you go, that's your number. I personally don't worry about the fuel expenses all that much, because that defeats the whole point. The reason why you're on a motorcycle and traveling is because you want to experience the travel on a motorcycle. And in case if you don't want to spend this much on fuel and spend this much time on the road, you can probably ship your bike or go for a more fuel efficient motorcycle like I mentioned. Now let's talk about something that you can have a control on, which is your food, what goes into your mouth, and your stay. See, when it comes to stays, I'm not someone who needs fancy places to sleep. I don't need a swimming pool. I don't need an AC. I don't need complimentary breakfast. I'll manage. Just give me a bed and space to keep my luggage. That's all I want. And a neat place, a clean place, and just be good to me, bro. Just be good to me, smile. All of these boxes are ticked, I'll immediately check in. When I did my All India ride with the older Royal Enfield Himalayan 411, I did not have all of this camera gear which I'm having right now. So I was just going and staying wherever possible. I've stayed in, hotel kitchens, I've stayed in reception counters, I've stayed in petrol bunks, I've stayed in all sorts of different types of weird places. But now, since I'm carrying a lot of my camera gear, expensive stuff, I was a little more careful. I was looking for a decent place to stay. My budget was around 1,200 to 1,500 rupees. I sometimes exceeded that also. I spent around 56,000 rupees for stays. Arunachal was very, very expensive. I was not able to find a place below 1,000 in Arunachal. What I do is that I don't book online, because booking online is typically a little more expensive than going and searching for a place after you reach the place where you want to stay. Especially when you're on places that you don't know, you can't just simply book online without knowing where you're staying, knowing the area, right? I'm not very comfortable with it. So I try to stay in an area which is populated, preferably in a township where I can just park my bike and just walk out and have food and get medicines. And probably not your preferred method of booking a restaurant or booking a hotel, booking a room, but that's how I do it and it worked for me. Now let's talk about food, especially when you are on the road over 2 months. It's the last thing you want is to fall sick. I'm not a foodie. I don't go out and look for the local delicacies or the local food. I want what you eat. I'm not particular. I just need good food and I just need something to fill my stomach. That's all when I'm traveling. So and I don't drink or smoke, so that entire chunk of expenses does not exist for me. So I'll go for super basic, simple food. I'll have rice is something that I can have all day, every day. I can have chow mein, I can have momos, and I'll go for safer, comfortable food. Yeah, that's what I look for. Pizza is also something that I'll have. While talking about food, I cannot stress this enough. Drink a lot of water when you're traveling. Keep an hydration pack with you. Just sip water, hydrate yourself. Every 5-10 minutes. It's very important. Now let's talk about the maintenance of the motorcycle. I thankfully Himalayan did not cause any major issues during the whole 14,000 kilometers, right? Once I did a service from Kolkata, another one was from Sivsagar in Assam, and another one, the last one, was from Vijayawada. So that obviously the chain and sprocket change. So I spent, I think, for almost 15,000 to 20,000 rupees, changing. That's including the parts as well, the chain and sprocket, the brake pads, and also the tires I changed from Guwahati. Including that, it cost me around 20,000 rupees, which is not bad. Actually, for a 14,000 kilometer journey, 20,000 rupees maintenance cost for a motorcycle is not really bad. Thankfully, it did not cause any major issues though. That's the reason why. And we'll talk about the motorcycle later on when we do a review of the motorcycle. And there are these permits and treks that I did during this travel. You have to, when you are in the Northeast, you have to take interline permits. So that is required for you to travel inside Arunachal and Nagaland. That is very easy to get it. You just have to go and fill up a form online. I think for Nathang in Sikkim you have to take permit. Lamang you have to take permit, and to get to a lot of places you need permit, separate permit apart from the interline permit that you have to take. And also the tickets to Hornbill Fest. Also the Zuko Valley trek costing me 3,800 rupees, including everything. I spent around 7,000 8,000 rupees, including all the permits, all of the treks and all of that. So that costed me 8,000 rupees, I guess. Yeah. And then there are these miscellaneous expenses that you don't really plan for, that you don't really expect to happen. One of my ND filters that I use on the DJI Action 5 Pro fell off while I was changing it. My tripod fell off while I was riding, and I didn't even know. So all of these expenses add up, and you have to replace all of that, and it costs money. So coming back to the original question, how much did it all cost? I think around 1,50,000 rupees. I think I've spent for the whole ride. I think it is not too much. Could it have been cheaper? Definitely. Could it have been expensive? Oh, easily. I don't think that I've missed out on anything, nor did I spend anything for the sake of luxury. I don't do that. So this video was not planned. A lot of you asked me to break down the cost of this whole ride. So here it is, open, honest, and hopefully helpful. So if you're planning for a ride similar to this, feel free to use what worked for me, ignore what doesn't. And let me know in the comments below what strategies you use when you travel. This whole chapter of the Eastbound series has been a dream I held on to for over 4 years. Although I really wanted to explore all 7 states of this Northeast in depth, I know that I barely scratched the surface. There's so much to experience, there's so much to explore and to understand this part of this country. That's okay, because I know one day I'll go back. Until then, thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I'll see you soon.